Hello, hello. Hi, my loves. So, I've got an insect bite, for goodness sake, that's so itchy. I don't know if you tuned in yesterday when I came by and I was just saying, I can't remember all that I was saying, but I was just saying that it's full moon and eclipse and the energies are a bit nuts and in all the most wonderful ways. And I was sharing a bit about that and trying to get into the video, which I'd said I was unusually doing on a Saturday because it just felt like this flow. And I'd had a gorgeous client in the morning who I'd shared a bit about the energies at the moment. She said, oh, that sounds like a coffee break. So I kind of responded to that and came and did the coffee break. And just as I was in my flow, the door was knocking. And I was thinking, waiting it out a minute because there was 3 other people in the house, you know, so I'm hoping someone might hear the door. And eventually I heard my husband answer the door and then I heard my brother's voice. And my brother and my girlfriend dropped by, who we love to see, but we don't usually get people just, you know, come by because that's what we've asked for in life. And because it doesn't work for us as a family, which I'm sure you all understand. So it doesn't happen very often. And so I had to just go suddenly because I knew I would be needed to regulate in this situation. So we had an unexpected afternoon, which was because of unexpected things that happened to my brother's end to do with meeting up with my mum who lives nearby, and he was trying to regulate, and so it was just like a bouncing off effect of everybody just being stirred up in their own way. But we had a nice time and saw them, and we played some games and did some connecting. We had some chatting, we played some Uno. Eliza showed some of her crystals to my sister-in-law who loves crystals, and they connected about that, and it was really nice. But then when they left, it was quite dysregulating, where the holding it together came down, and there was some support time needed as we came out of that, because it was unexpected, not because it wasn't welcome. And that's the thing, isn't it? It was unexpected, and Eliza had a plan for doing certain things with the day, and the plan was thrown off, the timings were thrown off. So I mean, it's hard to get your beat back then, isn't it? So that was a funny one yesterday. So yeah, so I was caught just getting into my flow of talking to you all, and then I had to suddenly go. So I am sorry about that. And here I am, and here you are. So I hope life is treating you really well. I've been connecting with those of you who join us for our group chat at the weekend, our hangout. So I know there's a lot of intensity around for a lot of people. Those who are in my membership space, the Freedom Centre, we've been sharing in great detail about the levels of intensity showing up for people in different ways, and just being there to support each other and hear each other in that. But also, especially in the Freedom Centre, we really have the opportunity to really go into hearing the deeper messages that are coming through for ourselves and for each other, and hold space for that growth and expansion work. So there's been some really good stuff coming through this time for us all, because that's the thing, whatever's coming up in our life, whatever's coming to us is coming for us, you know, it's coming for us. I know that makes it sound like it's coming for us in a bad way. It's coming up for us, for our greatest and highest good. And our relationships are our most incredible teachers that spark the things that need to be sparked in us for us to take a look at what needs to be activated and alchemized and healed now. And our children do that for us in the most glorious and spectacular ways sometimes, don't they? I pulled out some cards this morning. I picked these up yesterday and ended up using them with my Freedom Centre group because I had them out when I started doing the coffee chat yesterday. But they are empowering questions cards, and I thought, I don't get them out that often, but these felt like a really nice invitation one at the moment. So if you're tuning into this, just feel into your body, take a nice full breath, come into yourself, out of your head a minute, so you can feel your response in your body and your intuition as you receive this question. If it feels good for you, if it feels aligned for you, I'll just offer it. Okay, let's see what one wants to come. took ages when I was shuffling them for one to pop out yesterday as well. No. We will wait on you, cards. Take your sweet time. Right. How would I want to be encouraged right now? What would I want to hear? How would I want to be encouraged right now? What would I want to hear? That's a really nice invitation to tune into and get curious about what you can offer yourself, what your inner voice can be saying, rather than its usual go-tos of scolding, telling off, feeling guilty. You know, actually, how would it feel encouraged right now? How would you like to hear that voice, and how can you speak to yourself today? So I hope that lands softly and intriguingly for you. I hope you are taking lots of self-care, extra self-care at the moment. I feel like I always need to say to all of you in this group, I hope you're taking extra self-care. I need to wiggle. And I mean, even more than usual. I feel like it's really coming to, these intense energies are really calling us to remember how much we hold in our inner space, in our body, in our energy, and how precious we are, and how much that precious that container is, and how much we need to take care of it. And I know that I am really blessed in saying this to you today, that I have had an Epsom salts bath this morning. I have done a meditation, and I've done some movement to get into my body, because I was feeling like I needed to ground into my body. And I know that that isn't accessible to all of you where you are at the moment, because I have been in that space too, where I would want to poke my eyes out saying that, because it just can bring up that envy and that resentment and that feeling of, why is that not available to me? And so what I would speak into with that is that those times of the more intensity of contact time that were the years of our lives with my daughter, you know, when she really needed me to be present with her 24/7, really, I felt like I could suffocate from the lack of space and connection. Those were the times that, when I look back, and I don't mean to make it sound like it wasn't hard, it was hard, but those were the times when I look back that I recognised that I really, really grew in my personal growth and my spiritual connection, because it pressured me, you know, like the forming of a diamond, that kind of pressure. It pressured me to really understand what it means to meditate or to do yoga, or all of those things that we look to as those self-care and connection and embodiment exercises. What is underneath them all is about staying open to the present moment, about relaxing into the now, allowing yourself to take this moment in fully and unconditionally accept of it and of yourself. And that's the hardest bit, isn't it? And of yourself, you know. Even when, if you've been doing tapping with me, you know I always do an even those statements. So even when I feel like I'm failing as a parent, I get to learn to deeply and completely accept myself and know that I'm enough right now. Even when I feel split all these ways and I feel like I've dropped all the balls, I get to notice that I am enough and this is enough, you know. And it's that deep, deep journey that really calls us into the truth of acceptance and staying open, which is what we're really seeking when we go to all those things that I'm just talking about. So don't get me wrong, I wish for you salt baths and meditation and walks in nature and all those beautiful things, and they're precious and important in any way that you can prioritise them. I encourage you to do that. But I know that sometimes, and some of you, those things can feel inaccessible, and I invite you to allow that to be something that you lean fully into as your practice right now. You just go in, full in. Here I am. This life is bringing me this child, these children, this experience, this intensity, this experience of being fully focused here with this in this moment. And I lean in and I stay open to this. and notice what lessons it brings you about your boundaries, about your energy, about speaking your truth, about using your voice, about love, all of those things. And let that be your beautiful journey, your book, your lesson, your tutor, your guru, really go into it. So I hope that can land in a supportive way for you today, wherever you're at. I started saying yesterday, and now because I had to stop the video and go and deal with guests, which makes it sound simple. I don't mean, I love to see my family, but it threw me because I was talking to you. But one of the things I was talking about, in glorious irony at full moon humour, it was showing me to live in my truth, because I was talking to you about how I am somebody who actually is designed to work with flow and flex and change and and there I had to do it, but I can't recall exactly what I said to you and versus what I intended to say to you. But I know I was talking a bit about flexibility, and last week when it came to Sunday, I had the thought I need to do my coffee break video, but it was a need, it was a should, and I know not to bring my energy into that space. That does nothing for me, it does nothing to anyone receiving it. And the older I get, the more I live by that. So when there's a should, I stop and check in and say, okay, do I want to? Is the energy there for it? Is this aligned for me? And if it isn't, then I wait. And if that means I don't show up on that day, then I don't show up on that day. So I didn't bring a coffee break video last week. And it brought the lesson, the opportunity for me to journey with, what am I wanting to bring? What am I wanting to speak? How am I being of value? It brought me back round to focus with you as my community and the work I bring, as happens in cycles. And I've been really tuning into that in my meditation this week and seeing what comes through. And what I noticed was that I try to offer a stability and a consistency in how I show up. And actually, I want to flip that to, I intend to have consistency and regularity in how I show up. But the primary importance is that in alignment with my own intuition and creative guidance, and I put that first, so that was the first thing that showed up. And so sometimes that might mean there's flexibility, maybe it'll mean that it flows every Sunday. I mean, I started doing it on a Sunday because it tends to work for me, but as soon as it flips into an ought or a should, that energy's changed, So I noticed that, but then what came through with the intuition on top of that was a curiosity about the community that I serve, because my life, not just me and myself like I was talking about, but my life as a parent calls for great amounts of curiosity, creativity, flexibility, flow, and that's how we roll as a family. And so when I show up in my work, in my the space I hold as a parent support, a coach, and all the work I do in the Freedom Centre and everything, it's really important that that's aligned for me and us as a family, but it's also really important that it's aligned for you. And I noticed that I had some conditioning holding me back, all my training as a therapist, all through these years of just being in practice, is there are way things are done, and these days we're more used to doing work online, so it's easy for me to show up on video call, and that's kind of more normal out in the world now. But that wasn't when I started doing my practice. That was a flex, and actually now it's considered normal, whereas there was a lot of sort of like unsureness about that at first. What is it like not to be in the room with somebody and to be on video call? And what I noticed as I was with this week is that we need a lot of flexibility in how you can access me and my services that still have to sit with me and the needs of my family. So that's what I need to work through. But actually, maybe you don't always want an hour support session. Maybe that doesn't feel accessible to your energy and your time right now. So I'm just being in curiosity about how I can give you, as well as the Freedom Centre membership space, if that feels like something you want to come and join in community with, how I can offer more of my one-to-one services in ways that fit for your life and your family and your needs. So maybe you just need a quick 15-minute check-in. Maybe you need a 30-minute focused breakthrough session. So I'm sitting with that and seeing what I can, how I can work that in a way that I can work into my world, and seeing what I can bring through. So I will put some information about anything I can offer, and maybe we can just try it. I think that's the thing, is for me to always remember that this is not me, this is us. And how do we want this to work? So if you feel called to be connected through me to our community of Peace with PDA, you know, and really be invested in yourself as a parent, in listening to your intuition, in listening to your inner guidance, in letting go of all that crap that is in the way, all that conditioning and that imprinting and that all that trauma and that baggage and all that learned stuff which just feels crusty and old, and our children are trying to break us free out of and shake us into this incredible freedom from. And you want it, but you don't know how. You know, if you feel invested in that and you really want to come all in this community with me, then let's work out how we can make that work. And I know sometimes where you're at, that shows up as, I'm in crisis and I just need someone to connect with who gets it. And so I offer that service too. But my work is always intended to connect with you for a deep, long journey. You know, some of you have been here since I opened this group when Eliza was like 5 and she's 14 now. And we've walked a long way together, and me, you know, understanding her and PDA. And as we've walked our radical unschooling life, and I've worked out how I can bring my work life back into this space as a therapist. And, you know, we've walked together a long way, and I hope we will all walk together a lot longer. And some of you are newer coming in. You've got young children and you're just discovering about PDA, and at the moment you're doing a lot of working out, and that has to be the priority place. You know, what does PDA mean, and what does being a low demand family mean? But then there's those longer and deeper expansive conversations and explorations which orientate around you, and I'm here for that. That's what I'm really here for. What is this calling you to be gifted in? Yeah, and how can I touch that world with you? I would love to know. So if anything comes up for you as you're hearing this, do let me know. But I will certainly put some little offerings out about some touchstone shorter sessions, and we can try it. I can see if it works for me. Eliza goes to some classes now, and the last few months she started going into classes without me. Can you imagine the space? So I'm like sitting in my car. I could do a little session. Why not? So, you know, there's always new possibilities, and we can just be open to, oh, what is this new space? What is this new opportunity? How can we make this work for us? So we'll see what comes. Okay, I'm looking at my cards because I'm thinking, did I do it today or yesterday? But yes, I did do it today. So I'm just thinking if there's anything else to bring to you in this coffee break to give you something for the energies that are coming through in the group, or what I'm feeling into now. Let me just take a full breath. You can do it with me if you want. Lots of you know that I do EFT tapping, and we tap on acupoints, and it's all about releasing stuff while we soothe and calm the nervous system. We tell our mind, body and spirit system that was always working together, that all is well. Ultimately, that's what we're saying. I've got this thought or this feeling, feels like something's wrong, but actually everything's okay, and we're just calming everything down so we can access the resources of all of those parts of us. Our mind, which always wants to be in charge and running the show, is a part of the story, but our body, our intuition, our knowing, our sensing, all of this wants to come into the picture, and we have to relax so it can be allowed to come in, and so we can hear it, so we can feel it. And the EFT really helps with that. And it's a brilliant technique because it's just really easy to learn, and it's a self-help technique. So I encourage you all to give it a go if you haven't done it with me. Absolutely give it a try. But right now, what I feel like I want to invite you into is just a full breath and allowing yourself with the out breath to just breathe out anything you've been holding on to today. And if you feel able to, I know sometimes it's hard depending who you're around, but if you feel open and able to do it, just really shaking it off. And you might even want to make a big noise to let it go, like, oh, or, you know, whatever feels good to your body, and just let it go. You can absolutely give yourself permission to let that go, that feeling, that thought, that pattern. Right now, you can choose to do that, even if it feels massive, even if it feels like it's been there all your life. Your awareness of it now gives you a choice point, and you can absolutely just choose to let it go and pivot and just come out of this video a completely new person, just absolutely letting it go. So I'm going to take a full breath with you. I took two. I'm greedy. I'm going to send you all my love. Thank you for coming and joining me again. It was really nice to be with you. I will see you soon. I will have a feel into through this week of the energies that we're in and what offerings want to rework themselves and pop them out to you. But at the moment, I'm absolutely available. If you want one-to-one parent support sessions, I can do that around the timings that work for our families, which is mostly evenings and weekends here in the UK time. And the Freedom Centre community, we've been a consistent little group for a while, but I'm feeling like I want to make sure and check in. Are there people who want to come in and join us? Is it time for growth? So that's kind of an accessible point. Actually, I really mean this. This is not a sales thing. I really do work with making my services at a fair and affordable price point. And when I say fair, I mean something that honours me and my training and my work and my time, but also takes into the account that I am blessed that I'm working from home. So I haven't got overheads, I haven't got travel, I haven't got big expenses, and those savings I can pass on. So I do try and offer, you know, a fair chunk off my regular fee to all of the members of Peace with PDA, because I know a lot of us are living life in a different way. I stopped working when we had Eliza, and I'm only just getting back into it, you know, in recent years, and a little bit. So I know we all make a lot of changes, including around how we manage our finances and things, which is not the same as going into a poverty story. I'm not going to join you in a low vibration story around money, because I'm not honouring you in that, but just recognising that we can all be open and honest to the flow of abundance and everyone's needs being met, and I do what feels aligned for me to honour at what feels like a fair price for you. And I try and make the Freedom Centre an affordable membership for a monthly fee, and then my one-to-one sessions are, you know, at a reduced rate from my regular fee. So do put me a message if you want to know anything more before I put anything out. But I'm available for all those things, and I just love to connect with you all and hear about your families and you, and mostly about, you know, how you felt called that I can serve you right now, so I can respond to that and really show up for you. Lots of love. Take care. Bye.